Welcome back to Non-Professional Dating Advice, episode number 3. I'm your host, Kyle Brinchley, alongside Tylen Nelson, who outdressed me this time around. Usually I'm the better dresser, but he got me. He got me good, even with the pocket square there. I mean, can't beat that. I don't even own a pocket square.
Dude, I own like 10.
Where does one buy a pocket square? Like Mr. Mac?
You can go to Mr. Mac, you got the Cater Shop in Logan. Or, you know, good old Amazon will never let you down.
That's true. I forgot that online shopping was a thing. That is rule number 1. Always outdress your competition. That is how you get the girls. No, seriously. I mean, every guy, whether they're your friend or whether they're your enemy, they are the competition. Like, just because they are guys. Like, they're doing nothing to be the competition. They're just the competition naturally, you know?
Yeah, it's a natural competition, but it's a friendly competition. Don't view it as a cutthroat competition.
No, this is Hunger Games Battle to the Death. No, that's how movies portray it. Movies portray it like you have to like win the girl, and like there's like these other guys coming after her, but that's not the true story. We'll tell you the true story after this, after we tell about our Thanksgivings.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving to all those who celebrate Thanksgiving. I guess if you're not from the United States, you celebrate your own kind of Thanksgiving.
It's probably literally just Americans, but
I do know Canada, they have a Thanksgiving, but it's in October.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so
I guess other countries can say, I like that idea.
Yeah, they have celebrations to give thanks, but it's not, you know, obviously the American Thanksgiving has its own backstory and whatever.
Right.
Canada has theirs and all that, so yeah. So, yeah, Thanksgiving, yeah. So, Tylen, tell us what you did over Thanksgiving.
All right. For Thanksgiving, I went down. So, Thanksgiving was Thursday. Well, a Thursday. 25th, right?
Sure, I don't keep track of dates no more.
Anyways, I went down the day before, and on my way down, I stopped in Provo, Utah. It's got its own...
God bless Provo.
It's got its own dating world down there. But anyways, I just dropped by to say hi to a few people. I've got some friends down there. Made my way down to little old Salina, which is where I'm from. It's about 3.5 hour drive. And then Thanksgiving Day, we spent it with the paternal side of the family, you know, the aunts and the uncles, the grandparents associated with, you know, my dad. Ate Thanksgiving at my grandparents on my dad's side's house. Yes, I said that right. And then afterwards, my dad decided he wanted to take the cousins paintballing, so we did that. It was pretty fun.
There you go. Where do you go paintballing in Salina? Do you just go out in the wild?
My favorite place to go is you go up a little high in the mountains. You get up into the Quakeys, you get up into the pine trees, and you got some good cover.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're, like, just, like, in Salina, all you got are, like, juniper trees and rocks. It's not fun. So you go up a little higher where there's, like, grass and bushes and trees. It's nice.
More
it's
cover.
Fun. A lot more cover. Better cover.
Because, man, if you get hit by a paintball, those hurt. I don't know if you guys have ever played paintball. Those hurt.
They do hurt.
And, like, you don't want to get, like, hit in certain spots because it really hurts, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's like the underside of all your appendages really hurts.
Yes. Yes.
If you get hit in the chest, it's really not that bad.
Well, if you've been working out, you know, like
right.
You know, like Tylen over here, he works out, so he's got a strong, you know, chest, you know. If you're maybe been skipping chest day, then it might hurt. I mean, I don't know, maybe it just bounces right off you depending on.
Yeah, sometimes the ball doesn't break, but when it doesn't break, that actually hurts worse.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, so you want it to break.
You want the ball to break. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, let me tell you about my Thanksgiving. I went down on Tuesday. My sister had a basketball game, so we went to that. And then throughout the week, we just did various activities with my family. On Thursday, we got together for a turkey bowl, which is just a big football game that you play Thanksgiving morning. And
the turkey bowl.
The turkey bowl, yep. Thankfully, my extended family is very athletic. Like my aunts and uncles and then my cousins and like my brother and my dad, like we're all really athletic, so it's like a good competitive game. And like that's like something I'm looking forward to in, you know, like a future partner. Like I need their family to be athletic. Like we're getting into some of like my preferences here now. I mean, the show's not about me by any means, but like, you know, that was something I was like, yeah, because that would be fun. Because the last thing I want is to have, like, my wife's family be, like, not interested at all. And then I'm like, who do I play the turkey bowl with? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I get together with some, like, friends in the neighborhood or whatever. But, like, I feel like that'd be a good thing. And then We had Thanksgiving at my aunt's house. We had a whole extended family there. My mom has 5 siblings, so 5 of the 6 kids were there, and they all have kids, so the cousins were there. Some of my cousins have kids, so there's like little guys running around. There's just a ton of people there, super awesome. We watched football during the day, you know, because the NFL, they have 3 Thanksgiving Day games.
Yeah, we watched 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, dude, there were some good games, man. The Cowboys game, that was really interesting. Yeah, that was probably the best one of the day, for sure. Bears and Lions, not so much. And then the Saints got blown out, but...
oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, you didn't miss much, let me tell you that. You did not miss much. And then, let's see, Friday we did some Black Friday shopping. I got a really good deal on some shoes from Vans. Went up to Park City, got some Vans. And
Nice.
My siblings bought a lot of things with the money that they don't have. They haven't mastered the principle of being thrifty, you know? Like, once they get a paycheck, they just spend it. I mean, my brother's rich as crap because he's a freaking summer sales guy for Vivint, you know, and goes out and puts, you know, good numbers up every year. And then my younger sisters, like, they're just in high school, junior high. I have one in college, and she's as broke as they come, you know?
They don't have credit cards, do they?
They do,
Oh.
but fun fact, you can put limits on credit cards.
Yes, you can.
Especially when you're under your parents' umbrella, so they can only spend a certain amount at a certain time. They didn't, like, go super crazy, but, you know, they shopped and, you know, till we dropped. But, yeah, that was basically my Thanksgiving, and it was a good time. But now we're back in school, and by the time this episode comes out, Christmas will be 3 weeks away? Let's see, it's about 3 weeks away now, so maybe about 2.5 weeks by the time this episode comes out. So, I mean, 'tis the season. I already got my
Tis the season.
Charlie Brown Christmas mug and Christmas tunes playing. Just about everywhere has, you know, lights and trees and mangers and Santa Clauses and ho-hos and all those.
It makes for
all
a
those
very
fun things.
special time in the dating world, doesn't it, Kyle?
It does. It does. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. I'm going to tell you right now. During the holidays, I don't know, holidays just bring people together, and they're just, like, so... Like, when you think of the holidays, you, like, romanticize them, you, like, have fantasies about them, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, like, such a special time that you want to spend it with a special person, and, like, the way the media and movies portray it, like, during the holidays is, like, the best time to get cuffed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know, you guys watch Hallmark movies, I don't like
those
Hallmark
are my,
movies.
No, those are my favorite.
Tylen likes Hallmark movies.
No, I like making fun of them.
He likes making fun of Hallmark movies. Same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, because, you know, I've got sisters and a mom, and, you know, when you go over to the house, they're watching them, right? And I sit down, and I have to comment on them. And they're okay with it. My favorite one is, I think it was a Prince for Christmas. Not to be confused with the Christmas Prince. Not to be confused with the Christmas Princess. Not to be confused with a Princess for Christmas. I mean, I love the titles on these things. They're so fun.
Well, if you've ever wanted to, like, go into movie directing or movie writing or script writing, start with a Hallmark movie, because you don't have to be super creative.
No, it's the same plot.
Yeah, you don't have to, like,
Every time.
develop the characters. You don't have to, like, make it good by any means. All you need is a small town, Christmas time, obviously.
The main protagonist has to be from either L.A. or New York.
Yes.
One of the two. You can do Chicago. That's cool. But there's no other cities
Yeah,
in the United States.
you can't do freaking Miami. Nope, that's not gonna
No,
work.
successful people only come from those 3 cities.
Those 3 cities, yes.
Yes.
And so they're from those cities. They come back to their hometown and they run into a childhood crush or a high school crush, and they
Or he's
like,
a policeman.
or, yeah,
or
you know.
a firefighter.
and then they fall in love. So if you want to go into movies, Hallmark's the way to go.
Yeah, it's a great jumping off.
Oh man, yeah. So the holidays, I don't know. At Thanksgiving, you probably had conversations like this at the table, where, you know, like, your grandma, your aunt would be asking you, like,
It's always the No, you're right. It's the grandparents and the aunts.
my aunts are always like, sometimes my uncles too, like, they're very, like, interested, because there's, like, I think there's 6 single young adults on that side of the family right now, including me, who, like, aren't dating, aren't married. And so they're always, like, interested, like, oh, like, any new developments, you know? Like, because I see these aunts and uncles every couple months. And they obviously don't get an update from me every day, so in a couple months a lot can change. So they're always like, "Oh, are you dating anyone now?" Like they're holding out for me, you know. They're like, are you seeing anyone? Like, are you bringing anyone? You know, and they just kind of like pester you. Do you find that was the case for you this Thanksgiving?
I never feel pestered. My family's really good about that. I've never felt outside pressure to date or get married, especially from my parents. But, you know, from, like, grandparents, it's usually the grandparents. They're just like, dang, like, you're such a catch, you know? As a grandson, you're such a catch. You're so handsome. Where's your girlfriend?
It's like a guy like you should have girls lining up outside.
Exactly.
You know? You're just like, thanks, Grandma.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, my grandparents, on the other side, on the side that weren't at Thanksgiving, they're pretty, like, they just want grandkids. So I have one cousin on that side that's married, but she doesn't have any children yet. And then my older brother and I are the only other two young adults who, like, could potentially, you know, get married right now. I guess my little sister too, but she's in a different category. She's not really looking for that right now, but and yeah, so like she just really wants grandkids, and so far none have been yielded. And so,
ladies and gentlemen.
So they're like always asking, you know. But I don't know. I felt like it wasn't so bad this time for me either. You know, I thought it was pretty chill. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah, have you ever had a love interest during the holidays, Tylen?
Define love interest first.
Like, let's just start with crush. Like, have you ever been crushing on a girl during the holidays, and more so than just, like, crushing on her, but, like, you were able to, like, talk to her and take her on dates? Like, did you do any fun holiday dates?
You know, any kind of dates like those. Like, I don't know if you guys watched our last episode, but last episode, Tylen kind of discussed his dating history. And, in, like, high school, like, I wasn't, like, a serious dater. I wasn't dating to find a romantic partner because I had other goals that required me to forego those relationships. You can go watch the last episode if you're curious. But anyway, what I'm saying is my dating life really started when I was, like, 20. It would have been 2019. I was at Snow College, okay? The end of the semester was approaching. And the whole semester, I was pursuing other girls, right? I had a language arts class, and I was pursuing this one girl for basically the first of the semester till, like I said, towards the end of the semester. Just, like, talking to her, trying to get to know her, but she wasn't having it, right? So I'm sitting in language arts class one day, and I'm just kind of like, you know, guys do this a lot. We just kind of stare. Not at anything or anyone. We just stare, okay?
Off into the distance. We're thinking, what am I going to eat for dinner?
And girls always ask, what are you looking at? And when you say nothing, they're like, nuh-uh. You're like, no, I'm not looking at anything. I was doing one of those moments, and then I saw this gal. She sat, like, next row over, 2 chairs up.
Wow,
and I'm just like,
details.
I'm just looking at her, and then it hits me. I'm just like, she's cute, you know? But I hadn't been paying attention to her because I've been paying attention to this other girl.
Was she really that cute, or it took you a minute to decide if she was cute?
She was cute. But, like, she wasn't, like, the cutest one in the room. Right? Because that's how I roll, Kyle. Whenever as a student, whenever I enter the classroom, the first girl you talk to is the cutest one, right? Or at least that's how I do it.
Okay. So instead of aiming for the moon, you shoot for the stars.
You shoot for the star. Well, you aim for the moon, and hopefully you'll end up in the stars. Isn't that how it goes?
Well, I mean, that's how it goes, but shouldn't we be telling people to, you know, aim high and expect to get what you want, as opposed to taking the low balls?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you should go after what you want first, right? Give it a shot. Shoot your shot. Do the best you can, you know?
It's just like baseball. And if you guys know baseball, I'm the kind of guy, a lot of baseball, when they're up to bat, they don't swing on the first pitch. Because they just want to get an idea on, like, where the balls are coming across, you know? And they wait. And sometimes it's too late because you only get 3 strikes, and 3 strikes, oh, you're out. You should have swung earlier, you know? I'm the kind of guy, when that pitch is thrown, if it's right down the middle, I don't care if it's the first pitch, I'm swinging, you know what I mean? You know, I'm swinging because, you know, strike 3, you're out, and, you know, you're done, you're gone. But
and that's why I said, like, whenever I enter a new class, I love the beginning of the semester. I get to, like,
oh, it's fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. Like I said, I always go for the cutest girl. Why? Because if I wait 2 or 3 weeks, some other guy's gonna have taken the swing. You know some other guy's taking the swing, you know, especially if she's the cutest gal in the room.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but I'm not dissing on this other gal that I went after. She was cute.
I bet she was. I trust your taste in Tylen. I bet she was
Kyle.
a nice gal.
I appreciate that. So, anyways, you know, I had to make the move, right? So kind of just like how it kind of works in college is just like, you know, like this is where smoothness comes into play, right? So, you know, first you got to find out if you have a chance to talk to her after class, you know. And so, like, just like after class, you know, you just kind of notice, you know, like, where they go. And, you know, I noticed, oh, we walk the same direction to our next whatever class. So I thought that's a perfect opportunity to start a conversation, right? So next time I had class, after class, you know, you take a extra long sip of the drinking fountain until she passes you, right? And then you follow and gradually make your way up to her, and then you just like, oh, it's out of the blue. You're just like, oh, aren't you in my class? You know, and then you go from there. It's really easy if you're in a class. It's that easy. You just be like, oh, aren't you in my class? And they can say yes, they can say no, and you just go from there. But I end up getting her number.
Boom.
We can probably go into some details later on.
Let's pause here. You highlighted 2 very good strategies. Step 1, when you're talking to a girl or a guy, when you're talking to anybody that you're interested in, find a common denominator, or find something you have
some common ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very important.
Because if you just go in blind, chances are you're just going to be like, you know, stumbling over your words and blah, 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 blah. And she's going to be like, what is this guy doing?
Believe it or not, I've talked to Kyle, and neither of us are big into pickup lines. Like, we don't use them.
Yeah.
Like, as a first contact, I don't use them. I always like to go for a compliment, or just like, you know, some rapport you have already. Like, you're in the same class, you're at the same event, you know the same host. If you're at a party, you know, those are my favorite go-tos.
Yeah, because it establishes an instant connection. It also eases, because a lot of people are like nervous about talking to new people. A lot of people are nervous about people talking to them, you know, and it eases them when they're like, oh, like, we're talking about something we can both talk about and connect with. So that's really important. And principle 2, or strategy 2, get the contact information. Because let me tell you, at college, or if you meet people like out at, I don't know, at bars or clubs or out in public or wherever it is where you might not see the person again, if you don't get contact information, gone. Just, like, you're striking out on the first pitch, you know?
On that note, Kyle, this is what I found to be very successful. Don't make the interaction about the number, though. Girls pick up on that stuff. So here's what you do instead. Here's the pro tip. Number 1, like, have plans. Like on Monday, I already start making plans for the weekend. I look at what's coming up, what events, and I already make plans. That way, throughout the week, as I meet girls, I can invite them to the plans.
Very smart.
It's like, hey, you know, if you're having a party with a friend, you say, hey, I've got a party. You want to come? And they're like, sure. And it's like, well, how are we going to make this happen? A number. You know what I mean? Boom. That's how you do it. Pro tip right there for you guys.
Pro tip.
Oh, look, he's taking notes.
I'm taking notes on my own show.
So that's the pro tip of mine. If you have some, like, girls are more likely to say yes if you already have something that you're inviting them to. Like, for example, this gal, it was a concert. It was a Christmas concert coming up. And so, yeah, it was a Christmas concert. That's why. And fun fact, she was in the show.
She was in. So you invited her to go to this concert.
I invited her to go to her own show.
She's like, I'm performing, dude.
Yeah. She's like, I am performing. She was like, it was like choir, you know, singing, and they had some instrumental stuff too. But she was like one of the singers. And so I'm like, oh, awesome. Well, I'm going. Maybe we can meet up afterwards. That's exactly what we did.
Perfect. That is excellent.
Yeah, and so that, like I said, that was a Christmas concert, right? So it was around the holidays. I went on like 3 dates with that gal, and I I don't know, things just kind of, they just like ended, but like on her part. Like I texted her thinking we were gonna like hang out over Christmas break, and she just ghosted me. You know, I don't quite know what happened. Honestly, I thought everything was going well. So
yeah. Sometimes it do be like that. You know,
sometimes girls just change their minds. You know.
You know, and it goes both ways. Sometimes guys change their mind. You know, and just this is where the cookie crumbles. And you know, we can talk about a whole nother can of worms, talking about why things don't work out, and maybe some signs you can recognize beforehand to kind of get an idea and kind of get some foresight on that. But going back to our original thought with having a crush around the holidays, here's a it's not fun, here's a unfun fact. I've actually never had, I've never dated a girl, or I've never really had a relationship over the holidays. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Most of my relationships looking back have been over the summer. I've had a lot of summer relationships, or after the holidays, in January, where people are just life sucks, I'm in a relationship,
That's funny.
But I've never had someone during the cuffing season, during fall and harvest in October, and then Thanksgiving in November, and then Christmas and New Year's in December. But I don't know, I feel you don't need to have somebody during that time, but it definitely feel you're kind of pressured into it.
You definitely feel you're pressured, yes.
So, but hey, all in your own timing, and once you follow our advice, you could get a girlfriend or a boyfriend in any season, no matter the season, no matter the day, just whenever.
Yeah. And you should never, honestly, it's nice, right, to date someone. It's nice to be in a relationship, but you should never need someone, right?
Yeah.
You should be comfortable in your own shoes, doing your own stuff, working on your own goals. Because fun fact, guys, girls find that extremely attractive.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy's got ambition, I don't know. Kyle, have you ever been worried if you're being needy or not?
Yeah, to the true G's out there, and to anyone who wants to, gain some more knowledge, go into my YouTube. The very first video I ever made about dating advice, back during quarantine, I explained this in episode 1. It was just this joke of a skit, I talked about how girls don't like a guy, and it goes both ways. People don't like people who are too needy. You know what I mean? There's an aspect of being needed, but being needy just drives people away. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've met guys and gals exactly like that. And yeah, I agree.
So don't be needy. Focus on your own needs, but don't be needy. lot of needing going on here.
Yeah. And as non-professional daters, we like to listen to other professional daters as well. And every one of them, when it comes how do I not be needy, really just comes down to focus, like I said, focusing on yourself, focusing on your own hobbies, your own goals, your own social life. And then the girls, they honestly just come, Yeah,
I run into so many people who just stress about dating. And one of the first things I say every single time is, are you focusing on yourself? Obviously you don't want to be too self-centered. But
yeah, don't be selfish.
But are you taking care of your own needs? Are you comfortable with yourself? Do you love yourself?
Yeah, if you're for me, it's my physique's not I'm no Chris Evans or any of them. None of us are Chris Evans. But it's if you're insecure about your physique, then start working out. You obviously start small, but work on your insecurities that you can. And the other ones, for example, my height, I can't do anything about that. So you just embrace it. And you say, well, if you don't like that I'm tall, let's stop pursuing this gal because you don't want me, Yeah. So go find somebody who doesn't care how tall you are.
Exactly. And, going along with that, use your time to do things that you love, get a hobby or give back to the community, don't spend your time worrying about something you can't control. Control what you can, which is how you use your time, how you present yourself, how you act, how you feel about yourself. Control these things, and then naturally people will be drawn to you because of who you are and not who you're trying to be or who you're worrying about being.
Right. Absolutely.
But so yeah, don't worry. You know, Bob Marley said it best. Don't worry about a thing because everything is gonna be all right. You know, it just will. You know, and you got to be optimistic. And obviously, we're just saying you just got to be. It takes practice, takes time, and I think the best things in life take time. You know,
They do. They do take time.
In a world of instant gratification, you got to take the time to, you know, get all your what do you call it? Get all your chicks in order, or get all your what's that phrase? You know,
I have no idea what that phrase is.
get all your I don't know, get all the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, put them all in order. I don't know.
But yeah, so that's a good thing of advice. Remember that. Take away, you know, find ways to improve yourself and to not worry about dating. You know, just fill your time with positive activities and you know, things that you can do, self-care, different things like that, and then it will come naturally. It really will.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I want to emphasize though, a lot of people think that you can't change your personality. People just like say, that's the way I am. I would like to personally say that is false because I have changed my personality over the years. I used to be not as confident, not as social as I once was, but as I just, you know, kept putting myself out there, you know, kept telling myself that I was confident, eventually I became confident. Eventually I became social. So maybe one day we could go over our own personal, what do you want to call it? Our own origin stories, I guess. Just like how we got to be in the beginning.
Why are we the way that we are? Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, I used to not be the way that I am now. And that just took time, you know? I would say it took, for me to like turn a full like 180. It wasn't a 180. Like, you know, I was always still sweet and charming and all those things. But I would say it took me about maybe like probably 4 years. 4 years. From when I left high school to about 4 years after that is when I would say I am where I am today. And I'm always improving, right? Getting new skills and like the one I shared last time, you know.
You shared a lot of skills, man. Like hardcore, what was it?
Aquatic parkour.
Hardcore, yeah, that was intense. But yeah, Tylen, you're speaking the gospel truth here, man. I mean, every day, little by little, you know, you're trying to improve yourself, and ultimately, you want to find somebody who's improving as well individually, but together to improve, and someone who will support you, and you know, be with you and share similar goals. And so, in order to find someone like that, you need to take the time to, you know, put in the work, both into yourself and into putting yourself out there, you know. So, just remember that, you know, it's not an easy thing, but it's worth it. You know, the best things in life are sometimes the hardest, but they're the most worth it.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna wrap things up. You know, we're gonna keep it nice and short this time. We're gonna keep it to 30 minutes because we know your time is valuable, and the best advice can be shared in a very concise way. If we go rambling on for hours and hours and hours, we're gonna be lost in translation.
That's right.
Short and sweet. So, anything you want to share, Tylen? Any last thoughts for our audience here today?
We can dig into this in another episode, but I just liked what Kyle said about when he was like saying like the turkey bowl. He brought that up. Just saying how like he wants like a spouse one day whose family could participate in a turkey bowl. Now, I would say when it comes to dating, you're looking for two things. You're looking for, I like to call them preferences, and then there's principles. When you're dating somebody, you need to agree on your principles. You know, those are like core lifestyle choices. You know, a lot of times it's politics. You know, it's beliefs. You need to agree on those. And then there's like preferences. Like I'm a style fanatic, right? I like to dress up. Does my future spouse need to be like a fashionista? Not necessarily. I think I might just rub off on her, if you know what I mean. But I want somebody who cares about presentation, you know, somebody who takes care of themselves. And whatever that means, you know, at least they have to have at least good hygiene. Everybody wants somebody who
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum, good hygiene.
They brush their teeth, you know.
But you know, I'm not looking for like a fashion model or anything like that.
They're very, very well said. We will definitely cover that in another episode, talking about preferences versus principles, talking about what are must needs versus what are negotiables, different things like that. We'll talk about that in another episode. But thank you so much for listening if you're listening to the podcast, or watching if you're watching on YouTube. We released episodes about every 2 weeks or so. And if you want to be on our show, we definitely want you. We are going to bring whoever wants to come on and share their dating experience or have a conversation about dating. We are open to that, and we are open to your advice. We
Absolutely.
are non-professionals, but even the most professional athletes always take advice from other people. You know, if you're a professional in any field, a smart professional would take advice from others. So bring it on. Comment down below, or however you want to do it.
Yeah, if you have any questions, while we might not be professionals, we are non-professionals. We do have some experience. We would like to take a shot at your questions as well.
Yeah, shoot us those Q's, and we'll give you those A's as best as we can.
The A's.
All right. Thank you so much for listening and watching. This is Kyle Brinchley with Non-Professional Dating Advice, signing off. Tylen, say goodbye.
Bye.